Welcome to Fridays with Flora. Yay, Friday. Next weekend is Valentine's Day, and I have a lot of mixed feelings about Valentine's Day. It's a Hallmark holiday. It's probably given about 80% of us PTSD about unrequited love and friendship from when we were probably in second grade. So I do like the movement towards Galentine's Day. I think that's great. So if you're celebrating Galentine's Day on Friday, awesome. These treats can be for you too, as you celebrate them with your gals. These hot cocoa bombs that we're gonna make today, I thought would be really fun for Valentine's Day because gratefully I have a wonderful husband now and I have requited love and everything is great, and I also like creating treats for my kiddo too. So I'm sure all of you moms out there do double duty with Valentine's. You do treats for the kids and then you do something special for your husband or significant other, partner, spouse. So hot chocolate bombs they were a big trend around December. I wanted to play with them a little bit as far as flavors and kind of push some of the flavor combinations that you can make with them to create some interesting drinks for Valentine's Day. So the first thing you're gonna need is silicone molds. You can also get acrylic ones that are stiffer, and I picked these up on Amazon. They were super cheap and I got like 3 in a set. Now it depends on your size, what you're looking for. This is about 2 3/4 diameter. They do come bigger if you want something a lot bigger. These, you want to make sure that they're gonna fit in a mug. So this should fit in a normal mug to make some hot cocoa. Silicone is easier to get out, your little molds, once you create them. The acrylic ones are a little harder to get out, but they are definitely more for the professional candy makers, and they give you even a slicker, shinier finish to them. It's up to you what you want to work with. For me, they're hot chocolate bombs, so they're not, they're gonna be dumped into a mug, and the idea is to like have them explode with all the goodies that are inside, including the hot chocolate. So I'm not as concerned as the shininess. Like if I was making true candies or like a really fancy dessert that someone's gonna be looking at for a while, then yeah, maybe aim for those acrylic molds. You really get a nice finish with them. So this is the most important thing, and then obviously chocolate. I'll take you through, we're gonna do 3 flavors. We're gonna do white chocolate vanilla rose. Rose is edible, and there's plenty of flowers that are edible. Rose is one of them, and there's nothing more romantic than rose. So we're going to do that. That's gonna be kind of our main attraction. We're gonna use white chocolate for that, if I didn't mention that. And we're gonna do a strawberry chocolate. Strawberries and chocolate, very romantic for Valentine's Day. So we'll do that flavor combination. And then we're gonna see something a little bit more traditional but decadent, which is a salted caramel hot chocolate. So something a little bit more traditional, but still yummy and special. So join me in the kitchen today, and we'll embrace Valentine's Day, even though, I know we all have mixed feelings about it. I see it as a reason to just create fun treats, and yeah, it's just an excuse to have some fun. I try not to get too upset or into it. So yeah, just have fun with it, guys. It's just a chance to, I don't know, even show love to yourself, make a treat for yourself, you know what I mean? It's about love, and love can take on lots of different meanings and things. So with that, let's get in the kitchen. First things first, and the hardest thing about hot cocoa bombs is tempering chocolate. And tempering chocolate means that you heat up your chocolate and melt it down, but you don't melt it to a point where the sugar crystals and the butterfat from the cocoa bean separate. When they separate, there's a molecular structure here, and if you heat it too much, it's going to separate, and you can't really get them back together. And what happens is when they set, when you're like making candy or a shape, when it sets, it'll set, but it won't snap because the crystals are broken. Okay, so if you've got a piece of candy and you get that nice crisp snap, you know that that chocolate has been melted to a certain temp, but the crystals have stayed together. So the key is to heat this to just a point where you're still keeping the molecular structure of the sugar crystals. Now, there's a lot of techniques. You can go online on YouTube and you can find lots and lots of different ways to temper chocolate. But we here at the Urban Domestic Diva, we're about, being amazing in the kitchen while still keeping it real. So what we're going to try to do is temper this chocolate simply with, we're going to still use a thermometer. I have a small little digital thermometer that I got actually from the French pastry school, and they're probably going to scoff at how we're going to melt our chocolate, because I'm sure they're going to want me to do it the more traditional way, which takes longer. We're going to sort of do a shortcut. We're going to melt this low and slow with a microwave and keep stirring it and keep checking it. And what I'm talking about is like having it go in for 15 seconds, 20 seconds, maybe even at 7 or 8% power, in and out, stir, in and out, stir. You're trying to make sure you don't go above 90. Oh, sorry for that. That's my coffee pot. Apologize. So past, I'm ready. These are my notes right now because I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the right numbers. So yeah, dark chocolate, you don't want to go above about 90, 91. So that's what you're aiming for. So let's start melting it, and I'll keep you apprised on how this goes. I'm going to go another 15. One thing I forgot to mention, make sure there's no water anywhere. If there's water, your chocolate will seize up. So if you just rinsed this bowl, probably get another bowl that's been, dry for a while. Let me get my thermometer and see what we're doing here. Okay, so we're at 75. In doing it this way, you sort of need to work the chocolate a little bit, especially if, some of your bits are a little bigger than others, before you heat it. Use the heat of the bowl versus putting it in the microwave. Okay, the highest point is 87, so we gotta be careful. So I'm just gonna keep stirring this a little bit before I put it back in. See, the longer it sits in the hot bowl at 85, it'll continue to melt, and you can continue to work it. Just keeping it at, at 87, we're pretty close to 90, so I'm just being really careful here. One thing to note, if you do go above, see, this is almost totally mixed here. I might just do it for 2 more seconds. If you end up overdoing it, okay, and you're at 95 or 100, one thing you can do is, rather than melt all your chocolate, keep about a third to the side, and you can reseed it, meaning even though the crystals have broken, if you've got some more chocolate with those crystals, you can sort of bring them back in here and redistribute those crystals. And that's it's called reseeding. And seeding is an S-E-E-D-I-N-G. And that pretty much is how typical tempering, that's what you do when you're actually legit tempering versus this lazy girl way of tempering. So, okay. It's not quite thin enough for me to make molds, so let me check my temp. Okay, so we're at 86, it went down a degree. So we are going to put it in for a couple seconds. Three, power 7. Okay. Let's make our molds. We're at 88. Okay, so really this is now no big deal. You put about a half a tablespoon in. Okay. I am going to put it in the fridge for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to try and do a second coat. Okay, so these have been in the fridge for 5 minutes, and I'm just going to go in and drizzle a little extra for just a thin second coat. Then I go across the top and kind of scrape, try to create as flat of an edge as possible. In they go again. Okay, while those are chilling, I'm gonna prep my strawberry flavoring. So I have some freeze-dried strawberries, and these are a great snack to have on hand anyway, but what we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab just a handful, and obviously the smaller the better. I think I might wanna switch some of these out. Pick a handful to kind of explode, some of the smaller ones, and then what you want to end up with is about a tablespoon worth of pulsed freeze-dried strawberries to mix in with your hot cocoa. So I'm going to get my small food processor, I'm going to process this and measure out a tablespoon. These I'm going to set to the side. This is for one hot cocoa bomb. So just know if you're going to make 6, you're going to need 6 tablespoons of pulsed freeze-dried strawberries. You're going to need, 6 handfuls, however many you're going to make. I'm just making one to show you. It smells like strawberry Captain Crunch or Frankenberry. Okay, so we're going to mix that in with our hot cocoa when we're ready. Okay, so I have a muffin tin upside down where you can place your molds. So I'm going to pull these gently away. And this is why I like the silicone molds better, because they are easier to get out. There you go. So get them all out, and then we'll start filling them. So honestly, guys, this is the tough part. And once you make these, you can fill these with anything you want. So we're gonna go first make your hot cocoa, and it's up to you what kind of hot cocoa you want to use. I'm just using good old-fashioned Swiss Miss. And if you're using a fancier kind or going in bulk or make your own, I think we want about a 1/4 cup of hot cocoa. This we're going to do the strawberries, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a teaspoon of vanilla powder in. A tablespoon of our strawberry pulsed. And then our exploding strawberries on top. In the other one, we're going to add our hot cocoa. This is going to be our caramel. So chocolate hot cocoa. I'm going to add a sprinkling of white chocolate and a drizzle of caramel. And a sprinkling of gray sea salt. It's like a dash, you don't want to go too crazy. I'm going to focus on these two. I'm not sure if I'm going to do another strawberry or caramel for some of my Valentines in the house. But now we need to seal. So this isn't a great edge, nor will it stick. So we have to kind of melt our edge to make sure that it's going to stick. Also, my hands are very hot right now, so I'm going to grab some gloves so that I don't get fingerprints on things and I don't start melting my chocolate. So I've heated a pan. I'm going to scoot this in a little more. Okay, so I've heated a pan and I've taken some of my chocolate from the molds and I'm sort of creating glue, if you will. I've got a thin layer of it on the bottom of the pan, and the pan's going to stay warm for a bit, so you're just using this as glue. Gently take one of your tops and that's it, and place it on top. And go on each side and just make sure it's aligned. And that's it. These are like, it's just a gentle pressure, gentle on each side. That's it. You just let them sit a little bit. And they're sealed. You can always go back with a little brush and your chocolate and just fill in any holes if you'd like. You need a little brush for that, a little culinary decorating brush. Like a hole right there. You might want to clean up your edges. Okay, we're going to move on to the white chocolate rose. I'm only going to do one, if not two of these. And I have white chocolate, really good quality white chocolate. The challenge with white chocolate is that you have more butter fat. It's very high. It's basically just the butter fat of the cocoa bean. That's it. So you can't get it higher than, I believe, 85 degrees. So we're even going lower and slower with this one to do our cheating way of tempering this chocolate. So we're still going to do 15 seconds and maybe a power of 7 and just, keep stirring, keep checking. So we're doing the same thing as before. We're brushing, we're putting it in, 5 minutes, and then a second coat if you have enough. I'm aiming for 2 whole balls, but we'll see. So we've got our white chocolate molds ready to go. And I've just got white chocolate cocoa. Swiss Miss has a really great one. I'm going to fill to this. We're going to add half a teaspoon of vanilla powder, a sprinkling of rose petals, and on the rose petals, I've got a little rose water, and I've got about a quarter teaspoon that I'm going to drizzle onto the rose petals. Now comes decorating. You can have some white chocolate, dark chocolate. I've got some candy melts, which, you can make hot chocolate bombs with candy melts, but it's not real chocolate, so you're gonna get more of like a waxy kind of vibe to your hot cocoa. So I would recommend that you just use your candy melts for decorating on top. So I've got pink and red for Valentine's Day, and I've got some sprinkles, and I'll melt some white chocolate, and I'll have some semi-sweet to go on top of our salted caramel. And let's see what fun we can have to make these really special. Phew! So, 3 kinds of hot chocolate bombs in one morning. So, and honestly, I'm most excited about the rose one. I think that's just so unique and so special that, trust me, anybody that gets that's gonna be like, wow, that's really cool. Couple things to note on edible flowers. You can dry your own. You can do them in the summer and they last about a year as long as you keep them in an airtight container and keep them away from sun and just store them in a good place. Make sure you don't have any pesticides. Make sure when you're ordering online that it's food grade edible flowers, and so keep that in mind with your rose petals. And yeah, that's it. So have a really great Valentine's Day next weekend. No pressure, guys, but it's a big deal for some ladies. So anyway, have a great rest of next week. Thanks for joining me today. And if you like what we're doing here, please subscribe below. There's a button right down there, and it really helps to support what we're doing here. We have a lot going on. Please visit the blog where I share lots of recipes, and every other Wednesday I have a Wild Wednesday post. This is something I started recently since I launched my books on native flowers for pollinators. So every other Wednesday I'm sharing tips, tricks. I go deep on certain species of native flowers. So if you want to help the pollinators, meaning bees, butterflies, moths, lots of insects, even some animals, pollinate. Without pollination, we don't get a lot of what we just played with today in the kitchen. A lot of our food will not grow, okay? So it's really important that we support our bees, our butterflies. And the best way to do that, the easiest way to do that, is to start growing native flowers and bring your use less lawn and start growing some flowers and plants that are native to your area. So follow me on the blog, and you can stay up to date on all that stuff. And you can follow me on Pinterest too, and Instagram, all the places. I'm in all the places. So anyway, so stay in touch, and you can always reach out to me with questions and stuff like that. Anyway, stay safe out there. I feel like we're almost to the end of this nightmare that is COVID. So please get vaccinated, and please be safe. Anyway, Share the love, guys, for Valentine's. Bye.